We're gonna do a little comparison with the Mega Plus side imaging and the Mega 360 imaging. And what we're gonna do is roll over a spot right here, look at the layout of it, and then compare it once we put the spot lock down with the Mega 360. So this is a spot we're gonna pull up to. And what we're gonna focus on is this area right here with that big giant rock right in the middle of it. And we're gonna zoom in there and take a better peek at it. So this is what it looks like on the Mega Side Imaging. I have my settings in there with my lower sensitivity, higher contrast, dynamic contrast, and we're gonna look right at that rock and see what it looks like. Okay, so we have spot lock holding us here, and there's that big rock that we went over with the side imaging. And on the Mega 360, you can see how clear it is. The cool thing about this picture right here is I set it back to the default sensitivity, contrast, and speed. And that's how good of a picture it is right out of the box. So if you're scared to know how to set it or to use it, don't be. Plug it in, power it on, find your structure and cover, and it's gonna show you a really good quality picture. But now let's mess with the settings a little bit and see what they look like. First thing we're gonna do is go in here with the sensitivity and the contrast and just see what they do when we turn those. And when I went to 12, you could see I get really powerful bright. And for me, that's just too much of a glare coming off the image. So you can simply just sit here, click it one at a time, and see what you want it to be. Okay, now we're on contrast. We're gonna change that a little bit. Okay, so once we get to 13, again, it gets way too bright off those hard returns. Okay, if you go down by 7, it gets to be that real drabby look that we saw earlier on our side imaging units. We have a sharpness setting. We'll go in there, and I usually leave this on, and I usually leave it on medium, and it adds just a hint of a graininess to the picture, but it just makes it pop a little bit more. At least to me it does. The other setting is your speed setting. And on the previous generation of the 360, I would always have that at 3. And if I went faster, it blurred the image pretty good. But on this Mega 360 now, what I do is I almost always have mine set at 5. The max is 6, but on 5, it's updating my info a lot faster, so I know where to cast quicker and I don't have to wait. But it also is a decent enough picture where I can still see the target pretty good and know exactly what I'm throwing it at. Where this speed benefits me is if I'm covering water and throwing heavy jigs and I don't want to wait for that to refresh to get my next cast. This gives me totally enough info to line up my cast and bring it across there, because it doesn't matter how clear that rock is in that application. Here we have the speed on 2, and as you can see, the picture's awesome. You can see the exact shape of that big rock, the shape of the shadow behind it, and it looks really good. It just depends on how you're fishing and how fast you need that information updated. The other setting you see here is my range at 70 feet. And I kind of mix this up over the years between 60 and 70. But right now, this year, I've been using 70 almost every trip out. And what that lets me do is when I see structure and cover up at the top here, I know if I make a full, nice cast, my bait's gonna land right at the top. So it's real quick for me when I glance at the screen, I see the structure and cover to just make that cast and have my jig hit right where I want it to hit. For me, having the range at 50 just doesn't show me enough info on here. And when I'm making that full cast, I'm so far out past it, it takes a long time for me to get my bait back to what I'm seeing on the screen. On the Mega 360, it's easy to change your color palettes just by touching it up here and then picking what color you want it to be. Default number 2, this brown amber type look. That's the one I use, but make sure you go through there in case there's one that looks better for your eyes. Hopefully the side-by-side comparison of the Mega Plus side imaging and the Mega 360 shows you how powerful the combination of those two units are. You scan, you find the structure in the cover, it's crystal clear, you know exactly what it is. And then the bonus is you pull up with your Mega 360, set down, hit spot lock with your Ultrex, and the picture you see on the 360 is just as clear as what the Mega Side Imaging gave you. It lets you put every single cast on the structure or cover that you're trying to hit, and it makes for a very efficient day.